What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott. This is Sparky, back again like he never left. And today we're going to be talking about this SPR setup, because Sparky won't let me call it a build.
It's not a build.
Yeah, you're right. Technically, I didn't build the gun. So we're calling it a setup. We're going to be talking about the philosophy of this rifle, kind of why we have what we have on it, what the intent is, and why we chose what we had. Now, this is a more expensive setup. This is definitely higher end and not budget oriented at all. This is kind of what you'd want to do if you wanted to start pushing to the end of performance and
starting to get up there.
So yeah, it's definitely starting to get up there. So let's talk about the SPR in general, because this is a special purpose rifle. This definitely has a goal behind it. It's trying to accomplish something. So
purpose driven.
Yeah, very purpose driven. This one is an 18-inch firearm, 5.56. This is supposed to kind of stretch its legs a little bit
Reach up there and touch them.
Shoot it a little bit further than your average 5.56. This is pushing, you know, you'd want to be able to push 600, 700, 800 yards and really push the limits of the caliber and try to maximize, you know, the velocity and the performance of the 5.56.
Get the full, you know, capabilities of the round. Yeah,
and to really push its limits in terms of distance. This is not meant to be a close quarters firearm. This is not meant to do a lot of room clearing and stuff like that. However, we do have some stuff on this firearm in particular to kind of help with that if it ever needed to accomplish that goal and to, you know, kind of set it apart a little bit from a traditional SPR. So without further ado, let's go over this setup here and talk about what we've got on it, why we have it, and hopefully share a little bit with you guys about, you know,
why we did it.
Why we did it. So first things first, we'll start at the very front of the firearm and we'll talk about the suppressor. So this is a pretty large suppressor. This is a 10-inch titanium suppressor. I'm a real big advocate of suppressing all my firearms, whether that be, you know, the shorter AR-15s, you know, the 10.5, the 16-inch. You know, I'm a big fan of it. I think that a suppressor really serves a purpose. You know, it's hearing safe.
Yes.
You know, you don't like what? Can't hear nothing. You know, it reduces flash. It just accomplishes a lot of goals. It helps you conceal your location better, especially if you're taking shots at something, somebody, you know, whatever you're shooting at.
If you need to be slightly quieter.
Yeah. Now, does it take away the sound altogether? No.
It's not like it is in the movies.
No, it definitely has the pop pop.
You know it's a gun going off.
You definitely know it's a gun going off, but it helps a lot. Now you can easily just, well, the cover's on there pretty bad, but you can take it off and it does conceal the firearm a little bit better. It takes like, well, that's about 2 inches, give or take, and this is a 10-inch suppressor. So it cuts about 8 inches off of it if you want to really chop this firearm down and make it a little bit more friendly in terms of being able to swing it, and takes a little bit of weight off of it too. This thing's pretty heavy, you know.
Got some weight. Got some weight to it.
So that's one of the key aspects of it is the suppressor. I think it's very useful and I guess, well, just useful tool to have. So this firearm itself, since we're moving further down, is the Daniel Defense Mark 12. This is an SPR. You know, we've done videos on the Mark 12s in the past. They're a fantastic rifle. The DD is a fantastic rifle. Very accurate, very good shooting, and this is already built out. That's why Sparky wouldn't let me call it a build.
It came out of the box ready.
Because it came out of the box already built to be an SPR. So it was a factory build.
Yeah, it came ready to go. All the enhancements have been made.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is open the cardboard.
So we actually do have a build for a Mark 12. It's chambered in 6mm arc. It has a bunch of custom parts on it. Centurion quad rail, a ballistic advantage barrel. It's chambered in 6mm, which varies from the 5.56. So we do have a build of a Mark 12, but this one is a factory Mark 12. The reason all the different parts are on it is because, you know, it's been tested over time. Daniel's Defense has, you know, taken the look at the military's version and they've made their own. Refined it. I mean, we have a fantastic barrel and a very accurate platform itself. So let's move on past the rifle, because as you said, you can just buy that online. It's a Daniel Defense Mark 12. You know, $2,400.
There you go.
So let's talk about first things first.
Third. Yeah, we have third, fourth, something like that.
The first real thing and what we chose was the Optic. So this is a SIG EZ6. We've also reviewed this in the past. This is a 3 to 18 second focal plane optic, and
does the work for you.
It does the work for you. This thing pairs with this Hilo 3K right here, which is SIG's, rangefinder. Awesome rangefinder, outperforms my Leupold. But this is an awesome optic to really stretch your legs. The reason we chose this one is because it automatically does the holdovers for you, which is...
For simple minds, it's great.
For simple minds, it's fantastic. Every time we try to shoot long range, it's like... Guesswork, really. We're kind of just like holding and praying. But this takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. It's super easy to use. It pairs super simply with your phone. You can...
Very user-friendly.
Very user-friendly. If you're like, I don't like Bluetooth or whatever, I mean, shut up. So this is an awesome optic for that. It has a really nice reticle in it. It auto levels. It has a ton of different features in it, especially if you're like taking it hunting or whatnot. It can give you like feedback on distance and how ethical your shot's going to be based on the performance of the caliber.
If it's got enough womp behind it to do the job.
So, and you can definitely stretch your legs with it. 18 magnification. That's
plenty.
That's some serious zoom on it, you know?
Yeah. That's more than enough.
That's more than enough, especially for the 5.56, which you're starting to max out 800 to 600 yards. Your bullet's really slowing down. The wind's starting to really affect it at that range. You really got to buy high-end ammo really to really perform out to that distance.
So then at that point, when you're getting to that distance, you just need to look at different caliber.
Yeah.
When you get to that point, you just need to get different caliber.
Yeah, you go up to the larger framed AR-15 or AR-10s, 308, 6.5. You can do a bunch of different stuff, or 6mm, 6.5. Yeah. That kind of stuff. You're not getting as much with the 5.56, but the great thing about the 5.56, easy to find, relatively cheap. So, but this optic does it, and it does it really well. This SIG optic is kind of expensive, $1,500.
It's up there.
It's up there. You pair it with the SIG rangefinder, and you're pushing closer to $2,000. So it's a fairly
all around it.
Yeah, a fairly expensive setup, but it is good. We like it a lot. We've been very fond of it. The first time we ever shot it was at the gathering at PSA, and we fell in love with it there when we got it. Big shout out to SIG for that. So this is really an awesome SPR optic because it provides you that range, which is what you're having an SPR for, is to shoot further, and really capitalize.
It's the whole point of it.
Yeah. So, additionally, one of the things that I think really sets your build apart is the ability to adapt and to diversify its purpose based on the different loadouts.
Give it a few more functions.
Give it a few more functions. And one of the reasons a lot of people don't like special purpose rifles is if you ever have to go close range, you have to do magnification. Trying to acquire something at 3x kind of sucks. You've got those ACOG people in there that'll be like, it doesn't matter.
We can do it.
We can do it.
Point and press.
Point and press, yeah. But we decided to go with a 45-degree offset. This is a Holosun 508. And it is an awesome little red dot. This one does have the solar panel at the top of it, and it runs off of the light outside, so it's running at all times, and it's
nice.
It's a fantastic little offset. We have, I'm gonna have Hunter pop up the mount. Cameraman Hunter to pop up the mount type. It starts with A. It's an Arcus. I don't know. We'll pop it up below, but it's a really nice mount. It runs about $100 and some, and then the Holosun runs about $400, give or take. So I mean, that's a hefty price to pay
just for that. But I think it's worth it. I think it does really good, and I'm a big fan of Holosun's optics, and I mean I think it's done really good. All right, so what else is there to really talk about on this setup? We did change the stock on it.
We did change the stock, so this is the B5. I really like this stock a lot. Now the Daniels Defense stock's fine. It works.
It'll do the job.
It works. It'll do the job, but I just like the B5 better. I think it's easier to adjust. It's super solid. You got the concave on the Daniels Defense where this is more of a flat back. And then that's one thing that changed. And we have a Magpul bipod.
And sling.
And sling, yeah. Can't forget the sling. You gotta be able to carry it around. So this right here, I like the Magpul bipods a lot. I like how they can do all kinds of different rotations. And you can do that kind of cant too.
Depending on you know
what
your terrain, you're ready to go.
And they're lightweight. They're
pretty good quality. Like they're
easily
hold
extendable.
up.
They're plastic, which makes them lightweight compared to like a metal bipod. And then you've got the sling.
Just a regular multi-mission sling.
Yeah, I think it's the MS4. Or no, this one's the MS1. I don't really know the difference between all the different Magpul variations.
I don't.
They all kind of look the same to
yeah,
me. There's not. I don't really think there's a ton of difference in the MS4, the MS3, the MS2. I think it has to do with the connection points, if I'm being completely honest. So with all this setup, this is a fantastic setup. It's an awesome setup. But, you know, what would you change about it, Sparky? What would
if this was mine, I'd keep suppressor, keep bipod, obviously. Optic, I don't particularly care about this one. I like it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I think it's neat that, you know, it does the adjustments for you. But you could argue, I can see people making an argument that, yeah, this makes it simpler. Some people might rely on that.
A little too much.
It's too much. Well, they're like, okay, well, oh crap, if I break my rangefinder, I can't shoot now because I don't know how to shoot. So like, I don't know my holdovers. Like, sure, this makes it simpler, it makes it easier, but it could be doing you a disservice. Yeah. Because you're less of a competent shooter because you don't know how to use your holdovers. So I could see that being an issue.
So you're saying just train,
learn.
Well, I mean, if that's your biggest complaint about it.
I'm getting there. That's not my biggest complaint, but I was just a little tangent. Like, I could see some people becoming reliant on this technology, or whatever you call it, this scope, that it's going to do the work for you. And if you rely on it too heavily, you're doing yourself a disservice. So this one, while it's nice, use it, but I wouldn't become reliant on it necessarily. But so I like the
So what would you swap it with?
I mean, a razor is not a bad option.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a razor.
Yeah, not a bad option. If you want to go a little bit cheaper, Diamondback Tacticals. But at that point, you're already this much money into it. Why start skimping out up here? Yeah. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the grip. A little steep. It's a little steep. I don't like a steeper grip angle. That's just me. This one comes with a great trigger. Don't need to change that.
No, the Geisley's spot on.
Ambidextrous selector switch, I think is great to have. Don't need to change that. Down defense, charge handle, good to go. I would have either backup irons or a red dot like this, which you can't go off either one. On most of my builds, I got
the pros,
the Embus Pros. They're the canted flip ups, all metal, which I like those. But I like the idea of having a red dot for, you know, quickly, if they need to quickly acquire a target at close range. Yeah. You're just ready to go, just put it on and press. So there's not a whole lot I would change either.
I'd put a light.
A light, laser,
PEC 15.
Yeah, you might as well. We're here, aren't
we? So you can rock the nods.
Yeah. But like, a light's not a bad idea. But then you're adding weight to it, and then it's like, okay,
it's already a pretty heavy build.
Yeah, so it's like, well, then if you're not kicking indoors, why have the light? Yeah. But at the same time, well, the lights can give away your position. But like,
if you're kicking indoors, the light's useful. You gotta be able to see.
Yeah, you gotta be able to see your target, you know. Which I agree with. I have lights on most of my rifles.
You could definitely put like maybe a PEC on the side, and then if you're getting real bougie, you could get a forward-mounted night vision.
Yeah, So there's not a whole lot I would change about this specific rifle because it came ready to go, like out of the box, it's ready to go. So there's not a whole lot I would change about it. I mean, you could put an ambidextrous mag release if you really wanted to, but how quickly do you change mag on this bad boy? Yeah. This is a long-range setup, so you're going to be a good distance away from your target, more than likely. Yeah, so exactly. Swapping mags quickly.
You could change the charging handle. I mean, radian. You can go radian.
If you want to go radian, this is pretty close. If you wanted something a little bit bigger, or if you want something smaller, say you don't like this. Yeah. Say you want the regular A2 or another brand, you can swap that. But
or like the Rise that we got in the Arrow, it's a little bit smaller. Yeah. A little bit more compact. Yeah.
So you can. There's not a whole lot I would change about this rifle, just because it's
kind of
ready to go.
Kind of purpose built. You know, from the factory, purpose built.
Open the box, ready to go.
Open the box, ready to go, and that's
which is nice. You don't have to sit here and
piecemeal it together.
You ain't got to piecemeal it together. You ain't got to do a bunch of research. Data Defense has already kind of done it for you,
and you don't have to worry about like stuff not cycling correctly. I mean, cycles perfectly fine. It's got that rifle length gas system, that H buffer. Put a suppressor on it, still cycles really good.
Didn't have any issues doing that.
Yeah,
so you'll come across that. Slap a suppressor on them, you'll start having some gas issues if you're not careful.
Well, I mean, we put the suppressor on the DB10. cycling way too quickly, and then it was double. It was feeding and ejecting at the same time, where it was cycling so quickly, and so this is ready to go.
Which is nice, and comes with the price tag.
Yeah, it comes with the price tag, so that's something to be said. But this is the SPR build or setup that we've got. Let us know in the comment section down below what you think about it, what you would add to it, what you would change. Do you think this is overpriced? I think the whole price tag of this is like
close to $7,000.
It's close to $7,000, but it does the job. It does the job really well. So let us know down below what you think about it. Also follow us on Instagram. There you can see all the awesome photos that we take, and as well as our swipe up stories where we post deals and whatnot. So go check us out there. We really appreciate you guys watching. As always, take someone outdoors. Peace. Woo!
Where we at now?
I'm at like 6. Damn it. Sparky's about to be carried off.
I'm swelling up. If they bite down here, we'd be all right.